Wirth Watching. 56 years and counting.
Well, hello to you and welcome to Wirth Watching here on News for Utah Plus. I'm Sarah Murphy here with Craig Wirth, of course, as he takes us back 56 years and counting, Craig.
Yeah, we're going to share some memories of those. Now, not all 56 years, but that's when I started looking at everyday life through a camera lens. 56 years ago, 1969, 1970.
And what a career you've had. And you're going to give us a little glimpse tonight at some highlights. What do we have in store?
Well, what we have, we're going to start out with Graceland, circa 1990. Now, this was a tour of Graceland that I took, and it was amazing. I got to tell you, it was amazing. We're going to talk about graduation. You know, it's graduation time, and we look back to the 1955. We're going to look back to the 20s. We're going to have some fun. And speaking of having fun, we're going to look at everyday events. There was never a summer in Utah like 1947. We're going to party like 47.
Oh, yeah.
It was the centennial of the Pioneer Trek, and they had events, boat races, foot races, and one that's just incredible. At BYU, they did a posture contest where you walk with a book on your head.
I have to sit
like
up a little straighter for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of good stuff in store, but we want to start with Graceland, shall we?
Let's start with Graceland.
Okay.
You know, I don't know what you know about Elvis. It was a phenomenon, and Graceland became the iconic home of it. And the thing that was amazing, at that time, I was a financial correspondent, if you can believe that, at the network. And I thought, what an amazing story, because Elvis made more money after he had left the building, so to speak.
Oh, okay.
And that it was a phenomenon. So I went to Graceland and sat in the chairs, looked at the place where he had 3 television sets where he could watch 3 different football games on these, you know, big.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, what a thing. What do you know about Elvis?
I've seen the movies, the one with Austin Butler. It was really good. But I know you have some good facts. Let's learn more, shall we?
About the Elvis? Okay, let's do it.
The King sang his way into America's heart and became a multi-million-dollar superstar. He lived the good life, and he gave it away too, to charities, friends, and even strangers.
You can't take it with you, and Elvis didn't.
Graceland was Elvis. His daughter Lisa and her mother Priscilla were faced with selling the assets and the home. Along with trustee Joe Hanks, they took on an investment banker and a plan. Would people want to see the King's piano and the King's television set?
And we took, in the spring of 1982, the last $500,000 of liquidity, of cash in the estate, and devoted it to opening Graceland on June 7th, 1982, and netted back that $500,000 in 38 days.
Yes, there would be a market. Thousands of tourists with thousands of cameras came to Graceland. There is little you can say to describe this. There are no flow charts or business rules to explain this.
He bought the estate in 1957 for the sum of...
Suddenly, the image, likeness, and name of Elvis became one of the highest paid entertainers around. This year, over a decade after his death, one list puts him as the 15th highest paid entertainer, and he's gaining every year.
Phenomenon is the word we always use because no other word seems to fit as well.
People want to see his kitchen table. The former investment banker finds it all fun.
After dealing in this area, I could never ever go back to studying Standard & Poor's reports.
People want to buy just about anything with Elvis written on it. Plates and cups and hats. The Presley estate pioneered court precedent, giving the same rights to one's image, likeness, and such, both before and after one's life.
We licensed it was a bedroom slipper several years ago. And on the toe of each bedroom slipper, there was an image of Elvis Presley. And it was, you know, it was one of those things that, what can you say? It seemed like a good idea at the time.
As an entrepreneur selling a phenomenon, this is an unusual business.
We're not marketing a president of the United States. We're marketing an entertainer who had a great sense of humor, who was a great, great guy, and would have thoroughly enjoyed giving his fans things that they wanted with his image.
Of course, it's a little easier being the business manager now rather than when Elvis exercised his less than precise business practices.
We don't have someone in the corporate office buying dozens of Cadillacs and Mercedes every day either. So.
And through it all, they continue to come in by the busload.
Okay, move in as close as possible.
They get to see Elvis's basement.
This is going down to Elvis's basement.
Absolutely. We always have to ask people to watch their step because of the mirrors on all the surfaces.
Like mirrors.
And they get to see the 3 TVs that Elvis watched football on. There are no big barriers here, no glassed-off rooms, and no problem going broke from vandalism or theft. You see, this is a phenomenon, complete with a pool table and thousands of yards of fabric surrounding something that America will never experience again. And thousands more come to see the furniture that Elvis used. Some seek a deep meaning as to why Elvis wanted this stuff in the back room.
That, most of all, would have struck him funny. People later trying to ponder the deep philosophical meanings behind some of these things.
My brain is flaming. I don't know which way to go.
But that was Elvis, and this is a chance to see his costumes, his pictures, and his stuff.
Now, my favorite part of the whole museum is this priceless artifact. According to the plaque, at this point, Elvis Presley had made 50 million records for RCA Victor, almost single-handedly built the company, almost single-handedly kept it afloat. And to show their undying gratitude, the RCA Victor company gave him this, a free TV, one of their own free TVs. Hey, thanks a lot.
What a trip, Craig. So
It was
cool.
a shrine. It was iconic. It was everything.
It was, we love to see the peak. Thank you so much. Hey, a lot of good stuff still to come. Decades of footage capturing Utah graduations over the years. We're showing you the traditions that have changed and the ones that still stick around. That's coming up. It's worth watching. Welcome back. We want to talk about this. There's nothing quite like graduation day, is there, Craig?
No, and education has changed, but graduation's the same. It's a hat, a tassel, a robe, and a yearbook signed by people that you have no idea who they are.
Have a great summer. That's what they always say.
Yeah. Well, we're in the high school graduation season again. I'll remember. And it wasn't just the ceremony. It was a lot of stuff. Graduation time. You know, that's when you got your yearbook. And as you look through it, oh no, oh. And everybody would sign your yearbook and pledge to be your friend forever and ever and ever. Or at least until about the second week in June, when they forgot you. Wow, wonder what happened to them. Yeah, and they must have thought a lot of me. Weasel worthless? It's kind of hard to trace how long they've been doing high school graduation ceremonies here in Utah. For example, the University of Deseret had high school classes mixed in with college. And in 1890, LDS College had an association with a long-gone LDS high school, so ceremonies overlapped. But my goodness, the LDS high school students sure had a swell time at graduation. Now that's enthusiasm. Not everyone wore a cap and gown in the old days. In fact, in 1929, West High said no to caps and gowns, largely a vote from the parents. It did not last. Now there is someone who saw thousands of those in caps and gowns. It's the longtime former superintendent of Salt Lake Schools, Dr. Don Thomas.
You feel different when you put the gown on, and then you don't know whether to tip the hat or to put the tassel one side. But at the same time, while they're doing it, they're very joyous about it. They're very happy to whatever they're doing, even though they may not be completely comfortable. They're very happy at what they're doing.
He said he always felt the pride in the auditorium as the students filed in on that special night in those gowns and hats.
There is a real feeling that they have accomplished something. They have met a goal, and they have finished the work that was necessary to achieve that goal, and there is a sense of accomplishment and pride.
Now, it wasn't that this was your only wardrobe for graduation. Oh no. As far back as 1929, they were trying to sell you shoes and slippers that looked the part. And suits and dresses. $19 for a suit? You kiddin'? And $9 for a dress? Even in the 60s, you needed a new suit under that robe. And you had to look good, all for Mom and the family. And Mom still thought my hair was too long. Mom, if you only knew, it would all be gone in a couple of years. Well, some things did change. High schools used to hold graduation in the gyms or school auditoriums. Oh no, now they're mega events in venues. But Dr. Thomas says the pride is still the same for its graduation.
So you have a larger venue like an arena or a field house where they have the graduation. But still the seriousness of it, the pomp and ceremony, the pride that goes with it, the feeling that the students and particularly the feeling that the parents have, that has not changed.
Although unfortunately for some of us, oh gee, it was so long ago, and that's kind of sad.
Well, they say graduation day, you're never going to forget it. Although, to be honest, I can't remember who was the speaker, I can't remember where I sat, and I barely remember the high school, but you never forget it.
Craig Wirth, ABC 4 News.
You never forget, do
No, you don't forget, even though I don't remember it.
No.
I'm sure, though, your graduation.
Well, we're not talking about mine. I need to talk about this. I wrote it down. Weasel Worthless.
Well, yeah.
Who said it? I just want
wanna
names
go look
here.
up that person.
Yeah, I got something to say to them. Okay, rude. Never worthless, Craig. Never worthless.
And they
Very
always
good story.
sign, have fun this summer. So let's look at fun this summer.
Show us more.
Party like 1947 in the summer. Well, something happened in 1947. Two major things. One, Utah could party again in summer because the war was over. And second, it was the centennial of the Pioneer Trek. And they really wanted to come out and play. But what did you do for summer? What do you do? Not in 1947.
I was going to say, well, I wasn't around
No,
just
either
yet.
was
I hope it doesn't look like I was. Jeez.
I look like it, but no, I wasn't. What is summer to you? Is it fun?
Yes, it is, but I'm like flattered that you think I have my life together enough to know that I know, like that I have summer plans. I need some ideas. Help me out here. I don't know yet. What do I do this summer?
Well, I don't know.
We've got to take a look back.
We got to take a look back, yeah. This is the summer, though, that, well, they just had all these events all over, and the state recorded them all because this would be something to remember. Post-war Utah was full of events, and especially starting in 1947 with the Pioneer Trek Centennial. And well, just because winter was over and time to have a summer of fun with new outfits from ZCMI and stuff from Sears. Yes, it was time to play again. The boats were out on Utah Lake. Although I'm not sure this was a good, safe idea, putting all these folks on top of the boat. Somehow the state publicity folks thought it was. But it was a chance to show off new technology. Motors so powerful they could pull people through the water. Fast boats from the summer of '47. And wow, see, this was when you took marbles seriously. The state found a good old marble tournament. Aw, baby boomers, remember the great matches. The state film detailed that this film was not to entertain, but to serve as a visual history. A look at a modern house of 1947.
the University of Utah, and BYU. And even though the stands at the new University of Utah Stadium were not done yet, they had a great track meet that summer, as well as a rip-roaring car race at the state fairgrounds. And, of course, a world championship horseshoe throw. But the big line of people at the old Fairgrounds Coliseum was for all of the rage at that time. Yes, there was something that was sweeping America then, swimming acts. It was synchronized swimming to music. Now this was modern stuff, but they didn't forget the past. There was a reenactment of the Pony Express. Now this was great. They even made swell patches, and the man was off carrying the mail. Now I'm not sure what happened, but there were many exchanges of mail and maps showing that he went far and wide. But when he came back, well, the same people were there. They either waited a week or maybe the rides were a little shorter. Oh yes, great stuff. Galena Days in Bingham, and tennis, and Boy Scout camp. Good stuff. Although, did they really give them cases of dynamite in those days? That's what it says. Hercules Dynamite. Wow, Scout camp was a blast 76 years ago. Yes, and who could forget this one? Who had the best posture? Well, Lehigh and Murray walked away with this event. It was the annual BYU Posture Parade. Hundreds of folks, all walking as one, showing the world that it was time to stand tall for Utah. And they had the trophies to prove it. Well, the whole summer was a picnic back then in 1947.
Okay, I felt myself sitting up straighter when I stand tall for Utah.
Yeah, stand tall for Utah. No, there's a good slogan. Boy, what fun could that have had? Posture and marbles.
And synchronized swimming, where they're all jumping in at a different time. Not so synchronized, but pretty cool.
It'd been a while since they could do that, but they said that was the most fun they've ever had.
And you can tell, man, to be there. How cool is that? Oh, what a good one, Craig. Thank you very much. Hey, we got a lot more good stuff to come, still to come here. We all know about the weather in Utah. It can be a little wacky, right? We're talking snow in June.
You got it. Keep that shovel going.
Stay with us. Welcome back to Wirth Watching. We love to talk about the weather here in Utah, right? If you don't like it, it'll change in 15 minutes or whatever. So let's establish the fact it can and does snow in June in Utah. That's right.
And it has several times significant storms.
Oh, yeah.
It will even snow July 4th once in a while.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's part of Utah.
It's classic. Let's take a look back to learn more.
Well, winter had a fair amount of snow, even better than average in many of the mountains, and it lasted into spring. But it's amazing how fast the snow melted in places such as Parley's Canyon. Now a blanket of green covers everything. It's summer-like weather in the mountains. The aspens are quaking, the flowers are out. Not even in Summit County do we have the threat of snow anymore this late in the season. Nope, no threat of those miserable, heavy snows in pleasant places such as Summit Park. Wanna bet? This is Summit Park, June 17th, 1998. Yep, it snowed like crazy this late in June. And crazy, that's a scientific weather term. And you would never believe it today. No, it couldn't have happened. Our reporter had to ask a kid.
It's supposed to be summer.
I know.
What's wrong?
Snowing.
Yep, the kids are right. And summer was just hours away. Oh, it felled trees in Immigration Canyon, in the hills above Tooele. The temperature even dropped from 91 into the 40s in the St. George area. And Utah County, yep, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Or again, to use the official scientific weather term, crazy. This caused a boatload of canceled plans.
I'm supposed to ride my motorcycle this afternoon, so we'll just see if it happens.
I was going to have sun today. I was going to have a sun bath and really get some tan.
It's crazy, man. It's just crazy. We're all supposed to play golf tomorrow.
Oh, some went out to make new plans. The park record showed the beginning of a snowman. And how about a trip to Cedar Breaks to see the snow? I mean, these weren't just flurries. It was real snow almost 26 years ago.
And what a sight that was. I tried to keep a tally of how many times I heard someone say crazy, and that's right, I lost track of like 4 or 5. Greg, it's crazy. I love that scientific weather term.
Just we all just are so dedicated to the weather and what we think, and it's crazy.
It's crazy snow in June. I also want to mention some of those shots you said, that was where you live. Beautiful area.
Well, you know, I like to go to a lot of effort and walk out on my deck and shoot
Get a couple shots of flowers.
Yeah, no, you know, Utah is beautiful in the summer, and then sometimes it just sneaks up and snows.
I know. That's the fun drama of living here, though, isn't it? Okay, 56 years in counting of a career, and you spent a big chunk of it in Utah. Tell me, what are some of your favorite parts about living here and covering the news here?
Oh, it's because we're all in it together. The state is large for being, you know, a western state, and I realize the metro area now, but we all still have a tie to Utah, that word Utah, whether we're in northern Utah, southern Utah, we're interested in what goes on in the other parts of the state. It's not like California or Texas, where you don't even know what's going on, you know, 2 hours away. That's what I love about covering Utah. And this is why in the 56 years, it's out there. It's all these people who are in either snow or they're in heat or they're in some degree of somewhere in between and just having fun, and we all love to hear about it. That's why Utah has just been wonderful to live in and to work in.
And you don't mind snow in June every now and then?
Why not?
Why not?
It makes a good story. I could just walk outside and do, wow,
I got this week
covered.
Flowers, a beautiful spot.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we love to see your content from Utah, Craig. Thank you so much for giving us a little glimpse in that today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing.
Of course, anytime. We'll see you guys next time.